You ever notice how the loudest people in the room are usually the weakest? They talk too much, brag too much, complain too much. They're desperate for attention because that's all they've got, noise. But let me tell you something most people will never understand. Silence is the ultimate dominance. When you're silent, you're dangerous. Nobody knows what you're thinking. Nobody can predict your next move. That's what makes you powerful. While the world screams for validation, you're sitting back, calculating, watching, learning. Every word you don't say is energy conserved, respect earned, and mystery built. Real power, it moves in silence. The winners aren't out here advertising their plans. They're not crying for sympathy or showing off on social media. They're locked in, obsessed, focused. They grind when no one's watching and win when no one expected it. You want respect? Control your mouth, control your emotions. The man who can stay calm while everyone else is losing their mind, that's the man who runs the game. You don't need to scream your worth. You need to build it. Let your results echo so loud they silence everyone else. Be silent in your struggle. Be silent in your strategy. And then make noise with your success. Because the world doesn't listen to people who talk. It listens to people who win. So keep your head down. Stay dangerous. And remember, the lion doesn't need to roar. Everyone already knows who he is. Silence is power. It's not some poetic fluff. It's raw truth. You want to win? Then shut your mouth and learn to observe. Every time you open your mouth unnecessarily, you're leaking value. You're exposing your mindset, your fears, your weaknesses, your plans. You're giving people ammunition to use against you. You think talking makes you strong? No, it makes you vulnerable. The most dangerous man in the room is the one who says the least. Not because he's scared, because he doesn't need to prove anything. He's not there for ego. He's there to dominate. People who can't stay silent are slaves to their emotions. You've seen them, always reacting, always flinching, always defending themselves. They're addicted to being heard. But the truth is, the world doesn't care about your noise. It listens to results. It respects control. When you're silent, you create an aura. People start wondering what you're thinking, what you're planning. That uncertainty, that tension, that's power. Puts people on edge. It makes them hesitate, and hesitation gives you an edge. Everyone wants to be loud because they think volume equals strength. They post every move online. They argue every opinion. They scream to be noticed. And while they're busy shouting, the silent ones are watching, learning, adapting. They're collecting data. They're letting the loud ones expose their hands, every insecurity, every lie, every weakness. Silence lets you study your enemy while he dances for attention like a clown. That's how you break people, not by talking, but by knowing. You want to control a room? Don't try to outtalk people. Let them talk themselves into weakness. Let them unravel while you sit back and calculate. Power isn't in how much you say, it's in what you hold back. It's in that tension you build by not reacting, not explaining, not begging to be understood. You don't owe the world your voice. You owe yourself your focus. People confuse silence with submission. That's laughable. The real killers move quiet. The assassins, the chess players, the high-level winners, they don't talk, they execute. They don't need external approval. They're too busy winning. You want real dominance? Lock your mouth, open your eyes, sharpen your mind. Stop wasting energy explaining yourself to people beneath you. Stop leaking power in the form of pointless words. Stay cold, stay calculating, stay silent. Let them sleep on you, and when you strike, let the silence be the loudest sound they ever hear. Control equals respect. You want to be taken seriously in this life? Then learn to shut your mouth and master yourself. You think people respect the loud, reactive, emotional types? They don't. They might laugh at their jokes. They might nod while they scream, but deep down, everyone knows the truth. Those people are weak. No control, zero discipline, just noise and chaos. The man who can't control his mouth can't control his life. The one who can't control his emotions is a slave to every situation around him. And slaves don't get respect. Ever. You walk into a room and explode the second someone challenges you, you've already lost. You gave away your composure, your energy, your dominance. The second you react, they control you. You're a puppet. They push the button and you dance. That's pathetic. That's not power. That's submission in disguise. The ones who control themselves, their tone, their emotions, their expressions, those are the ones people fear because they can't be read. They can't be manipulated. They aren't rattled. You don't know what they're thinking. That mystery, that calm under pressure, that's where respect is born. People respect what they can't shake. A man who doesn't flinch, doesn't stutter, doesn't fold, that man owns every room he steps into. And it has nothing to do with muscles or money or status. It's mindset, discipline, restraint. Control over your words is control over perception. Control over your reactions is control over power. When you're unshakable, you become untouchable. You want to be respected by other men? Control your anger, control your tone, control your urges. Don't be that emotional wreck who explodes over small things and then begs for forgiveness. Be the one who speaks when it's necessary, not to be heard, but to be obeyed. When you talk, it should mean something. And if it doesn't, don't say it. Learn to eat your frustration. Learn to take disrespect on the chin while you plan your next 10 moves. Silence, composure, timing. That's real dominance. Respect isn't given to the loudest voice. It's given to the man who doesn't blink. The one who could destroy you but chooses not to. The one who walks away not because he's weak, but because he's thinking 10 levels above you. That's control. That's power. That's what earns respect in a world full of emotional sheep. And until you master it, you'll always be reacting while someone else is leading. Mystery creates value. The second people can predict you, you become average. You become easy to label, easy to control, easy to dismiss. You walk around spilling your plans, your emotions, your thoughts. You're nothing but an open book. And open books don't scare anyone. And open books don't dominate. They get read, judged, and tossed aside. You want to be valuable? Then be unreadable. Be unpredictable. Say less. Move smarter. Let people guess who you are, what you want, what you're capable of, and let that uncertainty eat them alive. People fear what they don't understand. That's the truth. They might not admit it, but it's wired into their brains. When they can't figure you out, they can't prepare for you, they start second-guessing everything. That hesitation, that mental tension, that's leverage. That's power. It's how you get ahead without even lifting a finger. Mystery makes people respect your presence without you ever raising your voice. You want that kind of power? Then stop broadcasting your every move like an amateur. You think posting your grind online makes you look focused? It makes you look desperate. You think talking about your next business move, your next goal, your next idea earns you support? No. It invites envy. It invites sabotage. While you're out here hoping for applause, someone else is taking notes, preparing to beat you to your own finish line. But when you move in silence, there's nothing to attack. There's nothing to predict. You become a ghost, and ghosts don't lose. The most dangerous men on the planet say the least. They don't brag. They don't announce. They just show up and dominate because their value is built on silence, discipline, and the unknown. People talk about them when they're not around. They build legends without lifting their voice. That's what mystery does. It turns you into a question mark people are too scared to answer. Mystery makes people assume you're 10 steps ahead, and that assumption gives you control. You could be thinking nothing, doing nothing, but if you keep your mouth shut and your moves private, the world will still imagine you're planning something big. And that fear, that overthinking, that's worth more than money, more than connections, more than followers. It's a weapon, but only if you have the discipline to shut up and let the silence do the work. So don't explain, don't justify, don't expose. Move like a storm no one sees coming. Let them underestimate you. Let them think you're dormant, and then remind them, too late, that value lives in mystery, and power comes from the shadows. Winners move in silence. Loud people are addicted to validation. They're out here screaming about what they're going to do, posting every step, begging for likes, fishing for approval. It's pathetic. You don't see killers showing their weapon before the fight. You don't see a lion warning its prey. Real winners don't need to talk. They're too busy executing. They're in the shadows, locked in, grinding, while everyone else is too busy trying to look successful instead of becoming it. Talking is a drug for the weak. It gives them a quick hit of dopamine, a fake feeling of progress. I'm going to do this. I'm planning that. Shut up. No one cares what you say you're going to do. Show me. Talking about your goals doesn't bring you closer to them. It delays you. Every time you speak instead of act, you trade power for ego. Every time you announce your next move, you open yourself up to resistance, criticism, and distraction. And while you're dealing with that, the real ones already crossed the finish line.